Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, in this video I would like to talk about Icaros, also known as the medicine songs. Icaros come from the Shipibo tradition, and the Shipibo tradition are the original custodians and creators of the tradition of healing with ayahuasca. And the Icaros, these medicine songs, are sung by the Ayahuasquero, also known as a curandero or Ayahuasquera or curandeira if it's a woman, during the ceremony, together with pasajeros, passengers or patients that are participating in an ayahuasca ceremony. And the Icaros have many purposes. The Icaros serve many different purposes. They are like the Ayahuasquera or a curandera, or the shaman is like the conductor of the orchestra. So the Icaros have the power to open up the visions, to open up medicine from specific plants, flowers, or trees that the shaman has dieted, which means connected with, meditated with on a spiritual shamanic level. And what happens is these shamans that work with ayahuasca and different plants, that sit with different plants, which is called shamanic dieta, they receive songs from plants and trees that they diet, that they connect with, and then they're able to channel those songs in ceremonies, to channel the songs that they have received from many different plants and trees to the pasajeros in the ceremony, and by doing so facilitating the healing, the harmonizing of the pasajeros, people's bodies on a physical, emotional, spiritual, mental levels, on all the different levels. And Icaros have other purposes. Among those is to harmonize the body and mind, call up good visions, channel different trees or plants and other allies, to call in different spirits for protection, for healing, for awakening the life force. Or it could also be used to close up the visions if the effect of ayahuasca turns out to be too powerful. So those are Icaros in a nutshell. And I have experienced these Icaros when I was in the jungle during the ceremonies many times. I have sat in many ceremonies. My last trip to the jungle was when I spent 5 months, about 5 months in the jungle of Icaros, in the medicine center called Ayamadra. And during that time I participated in about 2 ayahuasca and Shamburi ceremonies per week. I've also dieted about 6 different plants and trees during my stay there. So the reason I wanted to share here about the Icaros is because when I came back home, I started meditating and sitting with cacao, and cacao was one of the trees, one of the plants that I have dieted in the jungle. And while I was in the jungle, I really wanted to start hearing those songs that are said to come from different plants and trees in the same in a similar or the same way that these shamans do, but I never actually heard the song. So when I started sitting with cacao, I started connecting to my ancestral songs in Russian by listening to my feelings. And I first started to connect with the melody of the song through feelings by gently humming, and eventually these melodies would just keep coming, and I realized that I could create many different melodies just by listening to my feelings. And these songs that started to come through sounded like Icaros. They sounded like the Icaros that shamans sing during ayahuasca ceremonies. And they were also in my in Russian language as I started adding the words. And these songs, they sounded so beautiful, they sounded so familiar, they sounded so so awesome that it would bring me to tears just to feel and hear those songs coming through, as I started to recognize that I'm remembering myself through those songs, and that I am reconnecting with my heart and with the truth of who I am, and that I'm actually healing my body on different levels, physical, emotional, spiritual, by reconnecting with those songs while meditating with cacao. And so the dieta that I did in the jungle with different plants and trees started to unpack as I started sitting with cacao when I came back home, in that kind of a beautiful way. And so I continued to sit with cacao every day for about a year, and more and more songs started to come through, and I have probably accumulated around 100 such songs that are still waiting to be completely opened up. And when I am on ayahuasca or mushrooms, but especially ayahuasca, these songs really start to open up in their full potential, in their full power. And they sound like unlike anything this world has ever heard. Their beauty is unheard of. Their melody sound like Icaros, but they also sound better than the traditional Icaros that I have ever heard of. And also a couple of times I have experienced hearing songs that were so beautiful and divine and amazing that I immediately knew that these songs are coming directly from the divine source, from the pure divine source of love. And it was like hearing gods and goddesses singing these songs to me. Their level, the depth of beauty is so deep that there's no words that I can uh, use to describe those songs, other than to say they're the most beautiful songs I have ever heard, and that I actually have never heard. And so these songs are inside of me, and they are waiting. Now the time has come for me to unpack, to fully open up these songs that I have been gifted with. So these songs, the rhythm, the pacing and pausing of these songs, and the tonality can vary a lot. These songs are a lot more flexible in the way that they can be sung melodically. They don't have a standard way or framework of a different melody that the song is usually, that a traditional song is sung in. So they can change in melody, and they can change in variety and pacing and pausing. The pauses can be as long as 5 or even 10 seconds between the words, and the rhythm, the pacing can be accelerated, or it can be slowed down many times during the song. So there's a lot more variety and color to the Icaros, and they're always sung with intention of bringing on harmony, calling in beautiful visions, healing, protection, and just the overall goodness, and for the greater good of all. So that is what I'm excited about. Right now I'm moving, my intention is to move toward the direction where I'll have my own ceremonies, and to work with cacao, and then eventually to work with ayahuasca and be the shaman, the healer, the curandero and ayahuasquero. That is who I am. I have gone through the initiations to become the shaman, and that is who I am. I am shaman, and I am carrying the most beautiful, the most powerful medicine songs, Icaros, that I am wanting to share with people, because I know these songs will be very healing for myself and people who participate in a ceremony with me. And the way I see it, the beauty of these songs is only now starting to be birthed. So this is going to be like a completely different genre of music and songs that is going to be birthed in the next few years, as these songs begin to unpack in me, as these songs start to also be opened up in other people. There's going to be a new genre of songs, and the way I see it, there will be in all the different languages, and there will be in this kind of a sort of a Icaro style way, because plants and trees have shown me just how much creativity there is, and how many songs there are waiting to be sung for the greater good of all of humanity, and not only humanity but the plants and trees and animals and all beings in the entire planet Earth, and all beings in the entire universe. That these songs are going to be the catalyst to bring about the much needed healing that our world needs, and that is what I'm preparing myself for. I am preparing to fully open up these songs in myself. That is what I have been doing here in this guest house, in this clubhouse today. I will be posting those songs. I'm still working on opening up my voice. Mama Cacao is helping me do that, and soon I will have. I'll be inviting people to have cacao ceremony with me, where I will be singing these songs and sharing them with people. And I am also preparing myself to start creating ayahuasca ceremonies as well, where I will be opening these medicine songs, these Icaros, in their full power for people to get the most profound healing. And I am motivated, I am excited, I'm passionate about this, and I know that the entire universe is helping me to move towards that direction. That is my intention, and opportunities are already starting to open up. I'm starting to connect with people that are wanting to do that. I'm starting to go to events where, for example, kirtan, where people are singing chants, where I'm able to feel comfortable singing with other people in a group environment. And I'm starting to connect with people that are also wanting to experiment these kinds of ceremonies with music and songs. So the universe is starting to provide me these opportunities and these gifts to become the shaman, the healer, and to open up these beautiful Icaros in ceremony for healing and for the greater good of all. And that is, ladies and gentlemen, what I wanted to share about Icaros. Much love, light, and blessings. I will see you next time.